going on YouTube? What is going on Twitch? I'm back again with day 3 of Road to Singularity. Well, I can't wait, son. Let's take a look at the stats real quick here. I have 7 hours and 47 minutes played, 1.46 KD, a 0.47 win-loss ratio. That couldn't be any worse. But that's okay. That's okay. We're just playing pubs. This ain't ranked yet. And then I got about 420 score per minute, which I feel like that is not bad at all. We are going to keep on rolling with the, what is this gun called now? X9 Maverick, the 3-round burst. And I've been playing with a couple different builds of this, and I'm going to try a new one now just to see how it does. The recoil on this thing is absolutely fucking atrocious. But we're gonna keep on rolling with this. Let's get it started. I will commentate over my gameplay, and I think today, I don't really know what the topic of discussion needs to be today. I really don't. What do you guys think? Let's do the subject being how I found out I was gonna be a dad. Okay. So we're gonna play a little hardpoint on imprint here. And we're gonna be running this X9 Maverick, and my fingers are so cold, bro. Teammates are getting fucking slammed, typical fashion of the teammates. I need 20 more headshots to get done with the headshot challenges for this thing. And this is part of the reason I never went pro, right here. But alright, let's get back to the subject at hand here. Let's talk about how I found out I was going to be a dad. So, ooh, that kid got shit on. Crazy enough, right? Crazily enough, alright, I had to focus. Bro, I swear, I can't play and talk at the same time, bro. It's crazy. But anyways, so it was the middle of May, and we were actually at my soon-to-be brother-in-law's high school graduation. And we were there, we went to the graduation, nothing out of the normal, like, didn't think anything of it. And we were sitting there talking, and we're like, man, what if we just took a pregnancy test? Like, no rhyme or reason at all. It was just like, what if? So, we went home later on and found out that we were having a baby. The test came back positive, which is really weird. I mean, I'm just guessing, like, at some point in time, you just get an intuition for that kind of stuff. Like, when you know, you know. But the crazy part is like, we checked. We got like one of the ones that had a virtual like screen and not like just like the faint blue lines or whatever it is, and we got one of those and it said positive, and we just didn't believe it like in the slightest at all. We didn't believe it in the slightest. We checked that thing like 4 times and it said pregnant. So we went and we bought 3 more. And we got one more with the little screen that says pregnant, not pregnant, and then we went and got another one, or the other 2 that were like the little faint line, and sure enough, the line was not faint in the slightest. That motherfucker was full-fledged right there. So we were like, well, what do we, need to do now? And at the time, the next step would be like going to your first doctor's appointment, finding out how far along you are. So we started doing some math. And originally we thought my fiance was like 8 weeks along, something like that, just because of how like stuff played out. But it turns out we were actually 3 weeks along when we found out about my boy. So that was pretty cool. And then like from there, and this is the hardest part about the whole thing, and especially like when I'm not playing this lobby no more. And especially like when you were like raised in a house like mine, where you're taught that, doing the thing before marriage is the worst thing in the world, and you shouldn't be doing that. Like, honestly, my parents didn't even want us sleeping in the same room when we moved out together, which is fucking crazy to me, bro. Like, we were 23 at the time when we found out on my boy. Like, to me, like, we were 23, we were at a good spot in life. We were full grown adults, you know, nothing too crazy with it. Like, we were just full grown adults with functioning lives, good jobs. And the only thing like we really weren't is we didn't have a house yet, and we weren't married. But to me, that ain't even like the slightest thing. Like, we had a nice place. It was plenty big, especially to bring a baby into. It actually really filled out our apartment a lot more. But anyway, so that was the next step, was to tell our parents. And it was easy for her because her mom was like super cool with it. She was ecstatic. And my parents were the ones that were not cool with it. I called my mom, bro, and I already knew how this conversation was gonna go. And I was so scared. So I called my mom and I was like, hey, we need to talk. And you know how moms like got that like sixth sense about their kids, and they're like, I figured you did. Or my mom was like, I figured you did because I've been having dreams about you here lately, and I can't just help but think like something's wrong or you got something going on you're not completely sharing with me. And I'm like, yeah, that's 100% true. And she asked me, she was like, well, what are you hiding? And I was like, well, I was like, they went and like my fiance went to her girl doctor today and they found something inside of her. And she was like, oh, what's that? And like acting all concerned, like, you know, that it could have been something terrible. And I was like, a human? And she was like, oh my god. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, you know how I feel about that kind of stuff, right? And I was like, well, it's kind of too late, you got to deal with it now. So she asked the question, she was like, how did this happen? I was like, mom, you had me. I think you're aware of how this stuff happens. Like, you know, like it ain't no secret. We're all adults here. So we went through that little spiel and how she was like disappointed in me and stuff and all that nonsense. And after that, it went pretty peachy, honestly. We didn't talk for like 2 weeks. Sorry I keep backing out, bro, but like these lobbies just are not it. We're gonna try this actually. We're gonna go to hardcore and try to fuck these camos out of the way. But anyways, we didn't talk for like 2 weeks after that, and she finally texted me and she was like, hey, she was like, I had time to sit in, and she was like, what do you need us to do next? I was like, what do you mean do next? I was like, it's kind of on us, you know, just make sure the baby grows up well taken care of, and we have a smooth birth and whatnot. And she was like, yeah, well, she was like, I know I could be doing something to help you. So anyways, I told her, I was like, you just have to learn to be okay with it, because like the way you reacted was not cool. Because like at the time I just wanted my mother of all people to support me and whatnot, but instead I got a little bit of a scolding for it, which was kind of dumb in my opinion, but like I get where she's coming from. It was a phone call that caught her off guard, just because I did not have the heart to tell her in person either. So that's kind of on me. But eventually after that, every day things got a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better, and we got to like the 6-month mark, and we and my parents were fully adjusted to it, and they could not wait for my son to get here. So we had my mom actually bake the gender reveal cake, which I don't know if like y'all seen this or how many of y'all are in relationships, you know, like that, or you know, do some really good co-parenting. But and whatnot, that's besides the point. I'm just kind of talking right now. But I don't know how many of y'all like have had to do like a gender reveal sort of thing, but we did the cup where you pick a where you have like a blue dye or pink dye inside the cake. And she made that, and she was super thrilled to be making that. She was honestly quite touched that we involved her in on something like that. So yeah, we let her do that. She made the cake, we cut into it, found out it was a boy, and at the time she was the only one that knew, which ain't nothing too crazy, because of course she's the one making the cake. But it was all good from there. And now my son's here. He was actually born in January. It's not like now he's here, he's been here now, bruh. My baby was born in January. He was extremely healthy when we had him. He is literally the best baby on the face of the planet. He's a pretty cool guy, but now everyone's cool with it, and he's my mom's little buddy, he's my stepdad's little buddy, and everybody's just thrilled to be included in his life now because it's been quite the experience. So yeah, that's the story on how I found out I was gonna be a dad, and kind of the small series of events leading up to it, without getting like too much in detail, because this is going on the internet, bro. Like, it don't need to go on the internet, but I believe in a very old style of like YouTube video and whatnot, and this is how we're gonna do this, because I don't know if you guys remember a YouTuber by the name of Luna, or a YouTuber by the name of I'm Not Magic, and I know there was another guy in there, I just can't think of his name right now, but I watched them all the time growing up telling stories. I'm honestly kind of trying to bring that style back, because those were phenomenal times in life. And I keep talking about how like I'm an OG on COD and stuff like that, and I really am, you know. I want to bring stuff like that back. So if there's anything else you guys want to hear me talk about, or any stories, any experiences you guys want to hear me talk about, just let me know in the comments, because I will happily. Can I jump? You good, bro? But let me know in the comments, bro, because like I'm trying to do good at this stuff, and like I know my comms are like slightly awkward right now, and that's just because I'm, you know, not good at this stuff. I'm essentially talking to myself right now, and that's pretty awkward at first, but eventually I'll get more cool with it, and like I'll become chill with you guys. So all right, this has been Saturn. It is time for me to peace out.